You have to get underneath the rumination to determine what it is that keeps drawing you back to this idea that your ex or your relationship together was way more incredible than it actually was.
Yo, what is going on, Warband? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video, and on today's show we have a video submission through the Patreon titled Idealizing Your Ex After a Breakup, How to Take Your Ex Off a Pedestal. But before we crack into it, guys, if you are new here, be sure to subscribe on your way in. Come and join the Discord if you haven't already. And if you'd like to support the channel, check out the Patreon. It's a great way to do that. And before we jump in, I have some people to thank, which I forgot to thank yesterday's video. So, thank you to Tim, Mr. Self-Confessed Cynic, William, John, Liam, and Jeff for your contributions to the channel, guys. I really do appreciate it. And let's jump in to the video. Oh, it's muted.
Channel, it's Ash, your truth-bombing fairy godmother for everything love, dating, and relationships. Today's video is one that I wish was around many years ago, because if there's one person who has struggled with idolizing an ex or a past relationship, it's me. This topic has been suggested so many times now, and it's clear that idolizing an ex or putting an ex on a pedestal is such a common experience for so many of us.
It's actually so common that we have a word for it on this side of the internet. We call it imprinting or alpha widowing. Guys, I've said this before, a lot of girls that you will date or come across in your life, they are imprinted by a guy. Okay, so they've been in a relationship where they really liked the guy, they really wanted his validation, and they became obsessed with getting it. That's why girls who are, you guys all know the story, right? Where, you know, girls you're not as interested in, they're typically a lot easier to get, so to speak. That if you want to have a relationship with them, it's typically a lot easier, and that's because they sense your validation is harder to earn. A lot of these girls walking around out here, they couldn't get the validation of Chad, and it sticks in their mind, right? They just can't get over the fact that they couldn't get his validation. Let's continue.
So let's go ahead and talk about it, and also discuss some ways that you can combat this experience of feeling like your ex or your past relationship was just the best thing ever when it truly wasn't. But first, if you like what you're watching here today or think you could benefit from new love dating, normal and natural, idealizing parts of our past is a part of human nature. However, the key here is recognizing that idealizing or romanticizing is just that. It's an ideal version of our past that isn't necessarily based in truth or reality.
It doesn't matter, right? And, you know, a lot of guys will get into relationships and they won't understand that their girl's soul, for lack of a better word, their girl's emotions are still caught up in the last guy that they were with. Guys, you know, a lot of guys on this side of the internet will talk about how if you want to get a girlfriend, or if you really want to get a girl, you have to get her mind first. Okay? And a lot of these girls' minds, it's still attached on men from ages ago. You see, you don't even have her, like, you think that she's attracted to you, right? But she's withholding bedroom fun from you, or she's demanding certain things from you, or she's making all of these little concessions that you have to listen to if you want to get X, Y, Z, right? Or you know, it's all about how you treat her. Okay, the guy who she was last with, the guy in this video, you know, that this particular girl is referring to, he didn't have to do any of those things. He didn't have to take her on dates. He didn't have to buy her things. He didn't have to do such and such. He didn't have to, you know, a few videos ago, he didn't have to say Happy Valentine's Day or anything like that. And a lot of guys will get confused when Chad just sweeps back along and steals their girl, right? And they'll be so confused, right? It's because men have been told that women's attraction works the same way as men's, and it really doesn't, right? Let's continue.
And yet, when we are stuck in that place of idealizing or fantasizing about a person or a relationship, I know how convincing it can feel in the moment. The problem with idolizing an ex is that the stories and images and memories that we replay in our minds feel really real and really intoxicating. Our minds are really good at being selective and playing tricks on us, and our memories are not nearly as reliable as we would like to believe that they are. As a psychology student who's literally learning about this in a forensic psychology unit right now, our memories are extremely flawed. And I'm sure
Psychology student. Guys, a lot of girls will have this is a typical story of how attraction generally works, and it's quite Jordan Peterson-esque, right? The way girls attraction works is like they want to come in contact with, a man who's pretty feral, and they want to be able to change him. They want to be able to turn the beast into a man, so to speak. And once they've done that, they get bored and they move on, right? So girls have this the desire to socialize things, right? That's why in part the bad boy is so attractive, right? Not entirely, like he can be physically attractive as well, all that. Um, but girls just want to feel like they were the one who changed you. They were the one who made a difference in your behavior, and perhaps you're more civilized, more blue pill, is another word to use, right? They want to have that effect on your life. And so a lot of these girls will go into psychology, they'll go into sociology, they'll go into learning about people, and they have a very strong interest in people that, for instance, psychopaths, sociopaths, those sorts of things, right? Because they don't like things that cannot be understood, and things that cannot be changed. They have a real gripe with things that they can't change, right? Men, we don't have so much of an issue with that. We don't mind math, and that's where you see such a huge divergence in fields where men will go into things like maths and engineering, where there's structure and things aren't really open to change. We just like to know how it works. But let's continue.
there are a variety of psychological benefits or reasons for why we idealize experiences from our past, including past relationships. Fantasizing about how wonderful and dreamy an ex is gives us a place to mentally escape to. It can also provide us with a distraction from perhaps having to deal with or feel more difficult underlying wounds or emotions. It can protect us from fear of the unknown, given that an ex is the devil we know as opposed to the devil that we don't. So there's familiarity and a level of comfort there. I'm sure.
Yeah, there's a connection there, right? And when you go into the next relationship, you still have that connection. Okay?
Professionals have all kinds of theories for why we idealize and romanticize ex-partners. However, one of the biggest reasons that I know I personally was idealizing past relationships was due to unfulfilled needs and desires I had within myself and was therefore projecting onto someone from my past.
Translation. She still felt a lack of validation. Okay, that's what it is. It's unfulfilled needs, and what she means by that is validation. He didn't say to her, you know, things to the effect of "I love you" in so many words. Right? A lot of these girls will stick around in relationships to try and get those crumbs, to get those commitments. Right? And this is why I say on and on again, guys, your commitment is worth something. Guys are told that guys, we are taught that our commitment is just something to be given away liberally, here, there, everywhere, help everyone out, all this stuff. Guys, your commitment is not to be given out liberally. Okay, it's to be given out very sparingly to the people who are worth it, who prove themselves, right? Like a lot of guys are. This is why we have the problem, right? A lot of older guys will come to my channel and they'll find it so weird to look at when I say things like, chivalry is dead. You shouldn't be paying for dates and things. Well, there's a big debate on that, but in general, dates are going out of fashion. It's not about romancing a woman anymore, right? And a lot of the reason why I say that is because your commitment has to be worth something these days. You know what I mean? Like men's commitment is actually worth something. If you give it to a woman like this too early, she will just throw it out the door. You know? You give a rose to a girl like this, good luck, my friend. She has to be doing something very, very, very exceptional to get a rose from you. You see? But let's continue.
I actually made a whole video about this a while back, but essentially, one of the main reasons I think we remain stuck on certain exes or put certain exes on a pedestal is because we're projecting everything that we aren't cultivating within ourselves onto that person. So our ex becomes a symbol of all of our unmet needs and desires. For example, I had one particular ex that I remained extremely hung up on for a very long time, and it wasn't because I actually wanted to be with him.
No, it never is. It's about the validation.
Wanted to be like him. He had a lot of really wonderful qualities that I was really drawn to and really attracted to, and important.
Yeah, perhaps some independence, non-caringness, putting himself first, those sorts of qualities which you don't have, see?
Importantly, they were qualities that I really admired and wanted to possess myself. And although the quality of our relationship and our actual emotional connection was awful, I felt so good being with him because I felt better about who I was as a person purely due to my association with him.
Yeah, you see, guys, she's not yours, it's just your turn. We're going to leave today's video there, boys. Remember, if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to comment your thoughts on today's video on your way out. Subscribe as well if you liked it. And a great way to support the channel is through the PayPal or the Patreon. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. Yo boys, it's Taylor here. I just want to say thank you if you've made it to the end of the video, and if you've been enjoying the content, be sure to subscribe on your way out, join the Discord, and check out the Patreon link in the description. See you boys in the next one.
Talking too much in the garment, they're missing it. I had to put myself together, we can compose your